Into me already does it. Call me Rashid. I'm an anthropologist and sociologist. Listen, there is something that wizards and even high-ranking warlocks understand about the masses. There is something they understand about our fallen human species that many of us don't want to admit to. And that is that our fallen species has bad instincts. What is a bad instinct? A bad instinct is any dysfunctional attitude that we don't want to give up. For example, when you're wrong about something, admitting you're wrong. A lot of people have a difficult time doing that. Or admitting that, you know what, I caused harm to someone else by being insensitive. You didn't actually attack someone physically or you didn't verbally abuse them, but you were a bit insensitive and it hurt someone's feelings. Admitting that you could have done better. Apologizing. That's a bad instinct a lot of us have that we are not ready to concede emotionally. So human beings have bad instincts, due to the fall of men. However, those bad instincts are things we figure out about ourselves the hard way often, and we see it in other people, so we have no excuse. Despite the fact that it's not our fault we were born in a fallen state, it is on us to admit that we need to do something about our fallen state, and eventually you'll realize that the only way to be completely freed from the fallen state is by being redeemed by rebirth in following Christ. But even those who are not born again, even unbelievers can admit that they have bad instincts that they need to keep in check. But here's the issue. Most people out there do not even want to admit their bad instincts. They don't want to admit this. So what they want is someone to blame for their bad instincts. And once they find someone to blame, now they insist in being entitled to violate and damage that individual. They insist on dehumanizing specific people that they can offload their arrest upon. That is the dark, pathetic secret of society, that people want and crave victims. But here's the issue. People don't even want to admit their bad instincts. Now, worldlings cannot save themselves, but they can manage themselves until they're born again and renewed in their mind. And they should become born again as soon as possible in their mind anyway, because that's obedience to the Heavenly Father. But anyway, most people don't even want to admit that they have bad instincts. They have no problem admitting someone else has bad instincts, especially if someone else is far away from them emotionally, like foreigners or homeless people or criminals, whatever. But admit that they and their own people nearby, including their friends and family, have bad instincts, is not something they're keen on admitting. So they also will not admit their dark desire to have victims. So what fallen mankind does is that they look for agents to do the dirty work for them. For example, you may have a guy out there. He's a little bit chubby and he likes to talk a lot. When he talks, he's encouraging people, he is motivating people, so he's not talking nonsense, talking rumors. He's actually constructive every time he opens his mouth. But here's the issue. People are still annoyed at him because they can't control him. Because him going around in such a positive mood reveals that other people are in the dark. And again, fallen mankind doesn't like to be confronted with themselves. So this guy having this good attitude, it makes everyone uncomfortable. But nobody will tell him to shut his mouth because, hey, the guy is not talking nonsense. He's not talking rumors. He's not starting fights. He's constructive. Why are you telling a guy that's constructive to shut his mouth? You can't get away with it. So now the people developing anger towards this man, and the anger they develop begins to hurt them. They develop mental issues. They develop emotional problems. They're the ones developing physical health issues also because of the anger and unrest that lingers in their own human bodies. So now they desperately want this unrest to be discharged somewhere. So now they want someone on their behalf to explode on that chubby, positive man. They want someone to air and ventilate how they feel about the guy. So let's say now one day you have this teenager on drugs comes and says, dude, you're fucking fat, man. Talking all the time and shut your mouth, nobody hears you talking, blah, blah, blah. You have this teenager going off at the guy. Now, this teenager is wrong for escalating like that on this grown man, absolutely. But the teenager is only escalating like that because the teenager picked up many people can't stand this man. Many people even like to hear his voice. Many people have issues against the guy. That's why a teenager was comfortable offloading on the guy in public like that. Because if anyone tell him to cut it out, he would say, hey, sir, you tell him to shut my mouth, but you're the same one who've been bitching about him last night, didn't you? So because this teenager has something on the community doesn't dare to tell him to stop doing it. People will kind of brush off what the teenager did, especially if the teenager goes way too far in attacking the man. Because then you have to admit that they're the ones that energize this low-life teenager to do that thing. Even though the teenager himself is responsible for his action, it's a community that motivated him to do it. And again, they once want to do the dirty job on their behalf, so later that individual can take all the blame for their bad attitudes. The public has bad attitudes that they don't want to admit, so they want someone else to enact their bad attitudes so that the individual is the one that looks guilty, that the individual is one that gets punished, and they're the ones acting like they're innocent people. That's what the masses want. They want a hitman to act out on their targets. That is the deep longing in fallen mankind. Wherever you go, you find this longing in people. And wizards, high-ranking warlocks, and all evil spirits, they know this. The Bible admits this about fallen mankind. You can read it in the Old and New Testament. That is why anytime anyone in the open has an issue against you, be guaranteed that there are at least 10 other people's worse than that individual. No narcissist and no sociopath and no psychopath would even dare to openly act out against you unless they know for sure there is backup coming for them. And here's the thing. Some narcissists realize that, I'm not going to be the hitman for you guys. You guys figure it out yourself. But there are people who are desperate enough to get a pat on the back. They don't even have to be narcissists, nor sociopaths or psychopaths. Some people are so desperate for a pat on the back, they willingly become the agent of the community. Even if the community didn't specifically ask them to do so, they'll willingly become the agent of the community to act out against you. Now, if such an individual ends up acting out against you, don't be distracted by that one individual. Who is behind the individual that energized and motivated the individual to be so open in activity towards you? Look, a lot of people are dreaming about murder, are dreaming about kidnapping, and all type of weird stuff. A lot of people are dreaming about causing damage to their neighbor because they can't stand their neighbor or they're upset and they want a target. They just don't want to do the act themselves and end up in prison, or they don't want to do the act and later having to account themselves and they can't account themselves and it looks bad on them. They want a hitman. They want an agent to act on their behalf. And this is how politics works. Politics is all about the unrest of the population enacted by the specific hitmen called politicians. The politician is the one who has to campaign on behalf of the public. The public has conflicts and issues. The public wants to act out. So the politician acts out on behalf of the public, and who gets the blame when things go wrong? The politician. The politician may go to jail or face charges. But the population that voted for the politician or the population that was backing up the population financially, nobody talks about that. So, do not believe in the innocence of the masses, because the masses are not innocent. Anyone above age 18 and older, they know that something's off with the world. If they insist on not facing what's off with the world, nor look for a solution for it, then they are to blame for being a part of the problem. Simple as that. Are there grown folks even on later age who are innocent? Yes, there are. A lot of them are naive, but they still exist. Are there people who are not naive, but who are constructive? Yes, they are. But the mass in general are not innocent. Stop believing in the innocence of the mass, because they are not. Don't be amazed by the serial killer out there. Be amazed how the individual could have gotten away with it for so long and nobody did anything about it. Don't be amazed by the loudmouth who is cursing and cussing everyone out all the time. And he thinks he can get away with it because he earns a lot of money. Look at the people willing to listen, be entertained by him cussing out and doing all of that. Don't be upset with with the young people riding in the streets, being angry. Ask yourself why they're so angry and why do they think that the only way out is to explode like that. You'll realize very quickly that even though I cannot approve rioting by itself, if the community refuses to listen and improve and they continue to enact harm, at some point you get desperate and you do whatever you can to make people change. Look, stop belief in the innocence of the masses because they are not. Anytime you believe in the innocence of the masses, you are fooling yourself and putting yourself and others around you at risk. Most people out there, they know very well that they're lacking. They know very well that they are neglectful. They know very well that there's no way they can justify their attitude nor their lifestyle. They just want an excuse, and they secretly long for a hitman or an agent to enact their dirty work for them. Do not become this agent. Do not become it. Be at peace.